Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a thrifting tips video, and this is actually a video I've wanted to do for quite a while, but I've just never really gotten around to putting this video together. But today's the day, and I've been thrifting a lot lately. As you guys know, I always do thrift haul videos. I've been thrifting for a very long time. In fact, I first started thrifting in my very early 20s when I was about 20 years old. I lived in Portland, and one of my favorite things to do was thrift. I used to love going to Buffalo Exchange, and there was a road in Portland called Hawthorne, and they had some really cool thrift stores. A little bit spendy, you know, they had very curated items in those thrift stores, but I loved thrifting, and I think that when I lived in Portland and I was kind of in that scene, that's when I became really obsessed with thrifting. So it's only gotten worse with age, and I still to this day really love thrifting. So in this video I'm going to kind of talk about my tips, and this kind of goes for more Goodwill and things like that, because I feel more curated thrift stores are a little bit different than places like Goodwill, because there's so many things to shift through and stuff, and sometimes it can be really overwhelming. And I know a lot of people tell me that I find really good stuff at Goodwill, and I think I have kind of put together a really good list of things that I tend to keep in mind when I'm thrifting, and this might be able to help you guys as well. Also, just so you know, I have a really good Goodwill, I think. It's really big, it's very clean, and it's pretty organized as well. So just know in advance that my Goodwill is pretty decent, but of course every Goodwill is going to be different. With that said, let's go ahead and just jump in. So the first thing I want to talk about is knowing your sections. Now, for me personally, I know a lot of you guys that follow my videos like me for my style and all of that kind of thing, so I think that you might like the same sections that I like, but I usually tend to stick to very specific sections, and I always check them first, and I check them more thoroughly than other sections in the store. So for me, my favorite sections are the book sections. I also always check the coats and jacket sections. I feel like there's always the most amazing, unique coats and jackets, and I have bought so many. I would say 99% of my coats that I own are Goodwill or thrifted coats, because they're always amazing. You could find down coats, you could find vintage leather jackets, you could find pretty much anything in the coat section, and I love the coat and jacket section. The other section that I really like is the black pants section. I usually look very thoroughly through the black pants. I can find, black skinny jeans, I can find, tapered trousers that are high-waisted that I could belt. I could find a little bit more comfortable palazzo pants to wear in the summer with a tank top or something like that. So I also like to look in the gray pants section, because again, I can find some good high-waisted trousers and things like that. So really good section. Sometimes I'll look in the jeans section, but I kind of feel the jeans are hit or miss. You have so many different styles in the jeans section, and when I have a lot of time, I'll look in the jeans section, but my first choice is definitely the black pants section. I really love the home decor sections, because I make a lot of candles and all that kind of thing, so I look in that section a lot. Shoes is another section I look at, and then also sweaters. I feel once it gets to be winter and stuff like that, and I just want some nice cozy sweaters, the sweaters are a really good place to look, so I look at that section a lot as well. So obviously everybody is gonna, differ a little bit in this regard, but those are definitely the key sections that I always check every single time. Oh, and then also the kids section. I have kids, and you can find bomb stuff for kids in the kids section, because kids grow out of their clothes so fast that I feel there's a lot of times things in there that are hardly worn at all. So if you are kind of going through the clothes and you kind of want to look through all of the clothing and stuff like that, my biggest tip is to go to the neutral section. The black tank tops, the white tank tops, and the gray, and then the sweaters of those colors. I find the most stuff in the black, white, and gray sections, because I'm a neutral person, and it's really good to have basics and stuff like that, and I feel I find the best cuts in neutral colors, because neutral colors, everybody wears neutral colors. So usually that's what I'll do, is I'll just go straight to the black, white, and gray in every section. Now, if you have a color that you like personally on you, let's say you love mustard, right? You're a mustard yellow person, look in the mustard yellow section, or find the pieces that are that specific color. So instead of going through every single piece of clothing, you're kind of looking at the neutrals only, and then your favorite color to wear specifically. So the next tip kind of is in the same realm as the last one, and it's to look at the prints that you're drawn to, not the cuts. Because I feel a lot of times you feel you're gonna miss something, right? Because there's so much stuff there. One thing that I always do is I look for prints that I am drawn to. I tend to be drawn to black and white stripes, or just black and white prints in general. I also really am drawn to like leopard print. I find a lot of leopard print items. Sometimes there's like floral prints in there that I'm like, oh, I really like that specific floral, so I'll look at that shirt. So a lot of times I'm just like scanning the tops of the hangers for prints that really stick out to me, because I'm not gonna like something in a color or a print that isn't appealing to me. So a lot of times I'll just focus on the prints alone, and that's going to help kind of narrow things down so you don't have to sift through everything. And another thing too, if you're really into like higher end products, which I don't care about like name brands and stuff like that, but I know a lot of people thrift for specific like name brand or high-end items. My sister-in-law is more of that type of thrifter. She likes to buy and sell. So she's always looking for like name brands that she can sell for a higher price. She always looks for, instead of prints, she always looks for high quality fabrics. So no pilling, things that are nice and clean looking, nice and thick. And then once you find the piece that you're looking for, always take it out and look over the whole entire piece for holes or stains. There's definitely been times where I buy something and I get it home and I didn't realize there was like maybe a really faint stain on it, or maybe like a hole in a certain area, or a hole on like a seam or something like that. Of course you can like definitely fix some of those things, but you definitely want to look at that before you buy it, because a lot of people donate things because they're, you know, there's a stain on it or a hole on it or something like that. So always check that as well. So another tip would be to not stick to your normal size. So I usually tend to be like a smaller medium, but I look in every size and I focus more, like I said, on the colors, the neutral colors, and then the prints that I really like, but I look in every size. Now the reason this is important is because when you wash things, and you wash things a lot, they can definitely change size. Like a large sweatshirt that's been washed, you know, multiple times can definitely shrink up a little bit. And also vintage clothing, the sizing was different back in the day. Like a 6 now is not the same as a 6 in the 80s or 90s, or even like, you know, 60s or 70s. So you definitely want to look at the different sizes. Also, I've noticed so many times that tags are cut out of clothes. And I don't know if it's because the person doesn't like the tags. Some people are really weird about tags. But I always notice that sometimes tags are not in clothing. And this happens all the time. And if you like a piece, but it doesn't have a tag, like the person that put it away didn't know what size it belonged in. So it could be like a small in like the large section, like a large in the small section. You never know. The next tip is so important, and this is something that I keep in mind every single time I thrift, and it is spray paint. Spray paint, spray paint, spray paint, especially in the home decor section. So a lot of times right now you're seeing a lot of like wrought iron pieces because of the, you know, Tuscan type of style decor that was really big in like the early 2000s. A lot of that stuff gets donated now, and you see a ton of wrought iron stuff in thrift stores. And I spray paint all of my wrought iron stuff to like bronze or gold, and I used to do a lot of silver because I used to decorate with more silver back in the day. But I've always spray painted my pieces that I get at Goodwill, and it completely changes your pieces, like 100%. If you guys watched my last haul video, I did I bought this weird cat statue that was like this weird Mod Podge look, and I'm gonna spray paint that. I still haven't decided what color I'm gonna spray paint it, but I think it's gonna be so cute spray painted like a gold or a bronze or something like that. I've bought so many like wrought iron candle holders or like centerpieces for like a coffee table, and I just spray paint them gold, and it just completely changes the look of the piece. And they're usually super cheap as well. So spray paint is gonna be your absolute best friend. Always go into the home decor section thinking in your head, spray paint. And then also changing the hardware on furniture can make a huge difference as well. Making something a little bit more modern with like a square pull instead of like, you know, filigree pull is gonna make a huge difference as well. So always think about little tiny upgrades that you can make to these pieces. So the next tip is to always go in with a list of things that you're looking for. Now for me, I kind of keep a list in my phone of things that I'm kind of in the market for, and it's always in my phone, and if I think of something, I'll add it to the list. Now the reason I do this is because sometimes you find those things at the thrift store and it's so much cheaper than if you're gonna buy it brand new. A good example of some of the times that I've used this list was for snow clothes. Another thing that just happened to be on my list was soccer cleats and soccer shin guards. And let me tell you, you will always find that kind of stuff at Goodwill, because parents will buy new soccer shoes and stuff for their kids every single year because kids grow really fast. So each year or each season, your kid is gonna need new soccer shoes. So those things are always at the thrift store. Another one I had on my list for a while was games. Me and my sister-in-laws got really into games for a while, and so I went to the games section and they had so many fun like social games that we could play together. So I bought a bunch of like fun little board games. Another thing that I'm always looking for is candle holders because I make my own candles, so I always look for like candle holders. The last thing I remember very specifically that was on my list one time was glassware. I was buying Dollar Tree glassware for a while, and if you've ever bought Dollar Tree glassware, you know that it's like super crappy and it breaks so easily. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look at Goodwill because it was on my list of things, and sure enough, there's so many glassware sets that are donated all the time, and usually they're pretty decent glassware sets, like that nice thick glass that isn't gonna break really easy. And I have bought so many sets of glassware at Goodwill that are like matching glassware sets, and they're cheap. So always go in with a little bit of a list, kind of knowing what you're looking for. I mean, obviously thrifting is a lot of browsing, but sometimes you get really lucky if you have that list with you every time. The next tip is to dress for the occasion. Now, I don't always do this because if I'm being honest, sometimes I'll drop my kids off at school and then make a quick trip to Goodwill in my pajamas, and I like just walk through Goodwill really quickly in my pajamas. But one thing I can say, if you have a lot of time and you plan to kind of spend a little bit more time at Goodwill than usual, plan to dress for the occasion. Now what I mean by that is like a simple black tank top and black leggings, or black shirt and like a really nice like denim, like classic denim that you wear a lot. Now the reason I say this is because it's really nice to be able to just throw a jacket over your clothes, try it on in the store. You don't have to go to the dressing rooms or anything, but you can just try them on really quick and kind of see how it's gonna like vibe with your really basic outfit. You can also try on sweaters over like a black tank top, which is nice. There's a lot of items that you can try on over a black tank top. You can even try on like shirts a lot of times over a black tank top. Flannels in the guys section, like there's so many things that you can try on really quickly. The next tip is to visit frequently. I go to Goodwill probably once a week. Now the reason I say this is because there's gonna be so many things constantly moving out onto the floor, and things get picked over extremely fast, especially the good things. So you don't have to spend like hours in Goodwill. Literally just go in there every once in a while. You know, sometimes you might want to spend a little bit more time, but if you just go in there and check your like go-to sections. For me, like I said, home decor, books, kids section, black pants. It's like those key sections that you know that you love. Just check it really quick. You may find something, you may not find something, but it's really good to check consistently, because I feel like because I go to the thrift store so often, that is why I find such good things. I think a lot of people are like, how do you find such good things? And it's because I'm always going, and I'm always just quickly scanning everything and seeing what they have. And because I go so often, I think I find a lot of really good items that haven't been picked over yet. So I'm like the first one to see it. I know my sister-in-law, who does a lot of buying and reselling, she goes to Goodwill, or she used to go to Goodwill like twice a week, and she was like on the ball. She knew exactly what to find. She's like a thrifting master. In fact, I texted her before making this video and I was like, Rachel, I was like, do you have any thrifting tips that I can add to my video? And she just knows a lot about thrifting, but she thrifts for kind of a different reason than I thrift, so I feel like her tips are a little bit different than mine because of what she does, you know? So the next tip is to ask the associates like what days are sale days or tag days. So in a lot of Goodwills, they have different tags, and there's like a yellow tag, a purple tag, a blue tag, you know, those types of things. And on each day of the week, there are like tag color days where you get like 50% off of like certain colors of tags. And I think every Goodwill is different. Some Goodwills don't even do this, some Goodwills do. So ask the Goodwill employees, is there any specific day that I need to come that's like a better day or a good sale day? I know there's senior discount days, or like veteran discount days, all those kinds of things. And Goodwill always has those special discount days, and they might be very helpful for you. Maybe put it in your phone, so you always have it in your phone so you know exactly what you're looking for on that specific day. Anyways, that is it, you guys. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you guys maybe learned a few little things here and there. I feel like these tips are something that I always kind of keep in the back of my head when I'm thrifting, and I think I even kind of do it subconsciously. And I've had so many people tell me that they would love to thrift, but every time they walk to the thrift store, they feel so overwhelmed by all the stuff. And I feel like these specific tips are going to help you feel a lot less overwhelmed, and it's just gonna make the thrifting experience funner for you. And it's just kind of the things that really hardcore thrifters, I think, kind of keep in mind, especially like going frequently and stuff like that. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any tips that you want to add, definitely comment them down below. Like, I don't know everything. Some of you guys might have some like really amazing tips that you want to share, and I would absolutely love to hear them because I'm always wanting to learn more. But I think that's it, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.